we're starting on a project for this fall into the upcoming winter. Here's what we've got. So this is a ski bike that I put together last winter very quickly out of some adapters that I built quite a few years ago. I'm not terribly happy with the design of them. They work okay, but they do not attach to the skis well. Also, I want to add some form of suspension to this bike because it gets pretty hard on the wrists when you start jumping it. And so, we'll try to get a little footage of the modifications we make along the way. We're going to start out simply by pulling our skis and ski adapters off and pulling the fork and the lovely pink seat. So one of the problems that we have with these particular ski adapters is the way I mounted them onto the skis. I just drilled through holes and put on these countersunk screws, which you can see they come real close to the edge of the ski, actually go through the metal edging. One of these you can see the metal edging is cracked on right here, and they drag on the snow. I put a little P-Tex in these, but they just don't cover very well. And the skis aren't that great anyways. So those are some things that we want to address and make better. So here we are, stripped down. You can see I'm going to need a new seat post as well, as that is not the right one for the frame, and I had it shimmed up with a can of bubbly. The foot pegs should be reusable. They're a little on the heavy side, but they're functional. They need a coat of paint. Here's our frame, stripped down. I'm not entirely sure if or what kind of modifications we're going to do to this frame, but we'll just see how the project goes. So one of the quickest modifications we're going to do here is exchange the standard fork, which is over here, the BMX fork, for a 26-inch mountain bike suspension fork. This particular fork is a Marzocchi Bomber. I believe it is a Z4 from 2001. So it's a relatively vintage fork, but it will fit well on the BMX frame and should be a good working fork for us. So here's a quick mock-up of what it may look like with the forks on. One thing that I need to check is my headset angle in this configuration. That would be this angle here. I need to make sure that it is within a couple of degrees of where it needs to be, because that affects the steering quite a bit. I also discovered that this particular suspension fork has an 1-inch steer tube instead of 1 1/8 like most modern bikes do. So I'm going to have to fabricate some adapters to make that all work and play nice. Or we may start over with a different frame. We shall see. Stay tuned.